You yourself, as much as anybody in the universe, deserve your love and affection. So join me in a gentle beginner yoga class dedicated to self-love. Let's get started on our hands and knees. Spread your knees wide apart and bring your toes to touch behind you. Sit back onto your heels, hinge at the hips, and slowly fold forward, resting your torso between your thighs. Extending your arms in front of you and placing the palms down on the mat. Release your shoulders toward the ground and rest your forehead, your third eye, on the ground. Settle into this space. Take a deep breath in and a nice slow exhale out. Lengthen and widen your spine with each inhale, and then sink deeper into the pose with each exhale. On your next inhale, lift your head and walk your hands off the mat to the right. Exhale, lower your forehead back down into the mat. As you arrive at your practice today, begin to tune in to all the sensations in your body, noticing areas where you may be tensing or holding on to tightness. Use your breath as a tool to create space in these areas. With each breath in, feeling a little more openness. Focus your breath on your side body, feeling your ribs expand with each inhale. And then see if you can sink a little lower into the mat on an exhale. Okay, lift up on your next breath in and walk your hands off the mat all the way to the left. Exhale, release down to the earth. I love the beginning of yoga class because it feels like a homecoming. It's a time when I press pause on whatever I'm doing throughout the day to check in with myself through my breath and mindful movement. So let's just take a moment here to acknowledge this gift that we're giving ourselves. We spend so much of our day with an outward focus. So let's set the intention that for the next 15 to 20 minutes, all of our loving energy, attention, and kindness will be directed inward. Press your hands into the mat as you lift your torso up, walking your hands back toward the center. And exhale, we'll just take a few more breaths here in child's pose. And then breathe in, lift up, making your way to table pose. Begin drawing wide circles with your right arm. Train your gaze on your right fingertips, the whole time moving slowly and gracefully, connecting your breath with these slow, intentional movements. Breathing in as you lift your arm up, and then breathing out as you lower and drag your arm across the mat. The next time your arm is raised, extend it towards the ceiling and look up. Expand your heart. Exhale, slide your right arm underneath your left arm. Let your right shoulder come all the way down to the mat. Left arm is reaching toward the short end of the mat. Rest your right ear and cheek on the ground. Keep your left elbow lifting and your hips raised. Let your upper back broaden here, softening and relaxing your lower back. Allow all the tension from your shoulders, arms, and neck to drain away. Great job. Begin to press your left hand into the mat, and on your next breath in, lift up, extending your right arm all the way back up. Let's gaze toward the ceiling one more time, and then you can slowly float your right arm back down to table. We'll repeat on the other side. Lifting your left arm, begin making circles in one direction. Opening up this left shoulder. All right, inhale and pause. With your left hand up in the air, look at the sky. Take a deep breath in, fill up your lungs, and then exhale. Thread the needle, sliding your left arm under the right. All right, take a deep breath in. Press your right hand into the mat to help push you up. Left arm extends, opening across the chest. And then exhale, float your left hand back down to table. Slowly work your way into child's pose again with the knees wide, toes come together. Lowering your chest and bowing your head down to the earth. Inhale, shift forward, lift your feet and arch your spine. See if you can bring your head to the soles of your feet. Exhale, lift the hips and shift back, moving again into child's pose. Let's continue that flow nice and slow, connecting our inhalations as we open our heart to the sky. Exhale, moving back into child's pose. Take your time here, moving gracefully, undulating forward and backward with the breath. In moving back and forth from a heart opener to a heart closer like this, I'm reminded that love is a two-way street. That as amazing as it feels to share our love with the world, we also must remember to reserve some for ourselves. Now slowly lower down to your belly, moving into Sphinx pose. Rest your forearms on the mat. And let's enjoy some gentle neck stretches here in Sphinx. Drop your chin to your chest and breathe into the back of your neck for a moment before we start to invite movement. Inhale and bring your right ear to your right shoulder. Exhale, roll your left ear to your left shoulder. Sway your head from side to side. Just keep going back and forth like that for a few cycles of breath. Return to stillness. Great. Now go ahead and bend your left leg. Pull your knee up. Flex your left foot. And now press your hands into the mat to find a little bit of length and lift your body away from the mat so you have room to weave your left hand underneath your right shoulder. If it doesn't feel comfortable to thread the needle in this position, you can always make a pillow out of your hands and just rest your head on top of them. And just be here with your breath and your lovely self as you open your hip and possibly stretch out your shoulders as well. Unwind your arms. Bring your left leg back. And let's switch sides. So bend the right knee and pull it up towards your face as you flex your right foot. Press your palms into the mat and lift your torso. And then weave your right arm underneath your left shoulder. Another variation, if you'd like to explore to stretch a little deeper with your arms, cross your right arm over the left and then rest your chin in the crook of your right elbow. All right, return your arms to center, and we can move back into Sphinx pose for a moment and practice a few more neck rolls from side to side. Another opportunity to release any tension you might be holding on to. Press your hands into the mat, push yourself up into table, finding your way eventually to a seated pose. And we'll finish off our practice with a wonderful gesture of self-love. Sitting tall, crown of the head reaches towards the ceiling. Lift your head and your arms to shoulder height. Inhale, open your arms, bringing your shoulder blades together and look up at the sky. And then exhale, round your spine and grab a hold of opposite shoulders, giving yourself a nice big hug. Breathe in to expand your heart. Breathe out, wrapping your arms around you. Sway from side to side and hold yourself here. Just taking a moment to reflect on the love within. Breathe in, lift your arms overhead. Exhale, bring your palms together. Namaste. If you enjoyed this content, please remember to like, share, and subscribe to the Yoga with Cydne YouTube channel.